Good morning, gamers. This is Path of Exile 2. This is my this is my build with the Ordained spear. This is a new weapon to this league. It drops from the Arbiter of Divinity, and I was building specifically around this Righteous Descent ability that's on the weapon. So if you take a look here, go ahead and pull that up for you. It's a slam melee skill that has two components. There's a regular, just impact, and then there's an empowered version, which you get the empowered version by being near either when you're attacking or targeting these little divinity glowy things on the ground. So if I go away for a little bit and I target that, use my ability, I'll do a big leap, consume it, and then do this empowered version of it, which is a huge attack damage multiplier. It's double the normal damage of the normal Righteous Descent, and it converts more of your fizz to lightning. It's about 60% bigger. Yeah, it doesn't go on cooldown, and you restore your life and mana over a couple seconds. So that's pretty cool compared to the normal one, which has a 10-second cooldown. So if I go away from my little remnants there, you'll see the normal one. It's much smaller, like a little baby slam. Not as cool. So you really want to be near or targeting near these little fragments so you can go boom! Big AoE, big damage. Very nice. No cooldown, because this thing has a 7.14 second cooldown currently. I'm not super invested into cooldown yet, nor do I really want to be, because I don't really want to be using the small one. Although it does kind of suck if you like misclick and you're like, oops, I missed targeting the fragment, because you can't. These are so hard to see, by the way, especially with all the ground effects going on. It kind of looks just like the grass in some, or it looks like the terrain in some maps, but you kind of just assume they're around you because they are automatically generated in your presence every 4 seconds. As far as I'm aware, this cannot be modified to be faster, so you're stuck with that 4-second hard limit, which isn't too terrible since, Fist of War is 4 seconds by default, so if you're completely out of these remnants, you're at least getting a Fist of War every time you use your Righteous Descent. But yeah, other than that, it has a socket in here for just damage is all extra. I believe that's probably the best. Got a pretty good high roll on the fizz, medium roll on the lightning, and good base crit chance. And then also you leech based on your lightning damage, which is pretty cool since you mostly do lightning damage with the Righteous Descent. So yeah, I don't actually have any life leech aside from the support gem at the moment, but it's there if you wanted to do a different attack with life leech on your gloves or something. But yeah, that's the main thing we're building around this big weapon here. So let's go into the rest of the gear. We're just running the constricting command. I believe this is probably still the best way to scale attack damage. The surrounded nodes with Titan are absolutely absurd. In here you got just max rage, soul core, and lightning res to fill out some res. Offhand is the Sacred Flame. I believe this was like 9 divines when I was looking it up. Probably dropped a little bit now. I bought this like a week ago. You just want a high roll on the damages extra fire. This gives me so much damage. Also, it caps my res from the free Purity of Fire aura. I believe it's like 39. Yeah, 39 res. Obviously, I'd like to have quality on this, but I bought it corrupted with, honestly, percent reduced attribute requirements was pretty good. It normally, I think, is like 100 something int required. And the attributes in this build are kind of tight because we have to use dex for the spear stuff. We have to use strength for life and our armor pieces, and then we have to have int for this. So I guess if you wanted to, this could be a shield with like maybe you just run Chernobog's pillar and then invest into block a little bit for the percent gain as fire. I don't think it'll be as much damage though, especially because the final line on this thing, that enemies in your presence resist LE damage based on their lowest res. Now, this does not work with Chaos Res, even though the tooltip does say it does. I was testing this yesterday with just Despair Curse and stuff. But most mobs in the game, at least like in maps, the annoying guys are going to have like really high res to something. Obviously, the super pinnacles have just like res to everything equal, besides Chaos, of course. But if you fight like a big Essence guy or a boss infused with Essence, they'll probably have like super high cold res or super high lightning res, but like lower of the others. So this helps the damage kind of be flattened across the board. Very good weapon. In here we just got more spirits, so we can run a bunch of auras, sitting at 215 total. Amulet, we got just a +3 melee with some stats, with some life, very basic. Allocating Cooked, which is 60% crit damage bonus. Chest piece, big defensive unit here. We got big armor. Applies to Ellie on the implicit, and just in here the soul core things. We got the Panther Idol for chaos damage. I just put this in. It's pretty okay, I would say. I feel like when you die to chaos damage, it's not a hit. It's you get like damage over timed, or you get poisoned or whatever. So I don't know how worth this is. It's not expensive at all. It's like 3 exalts, if that tells you anything. So it might not even be doing anything. I don't know. It seems to be fine for me. Rings. It's some added damage, some res. What more could you ask for? Maybe instead of one of these damage rolls, I'd like a little bit of life or something, but whatever. And the other ring is a triple res with lightning damage ring. Pretty good. Fixes a ton of problems. Without this, I'd be in shambles. Gloves. We have a crit chance is lucky against parried enemies. So in our weapon swap, we have a buckler. So against really annoying guys, like I pretty much only parry on bosses that are parryable. And then once they get parried, they get not only a bunch of debuff magnitude from the parry itself. I believe it's at like 92% more damage taken currently with all my stuff. They also take 12 stacks of crit weakness, which is like 6 base crit, and the crit chance is lucky. So pretty much I tried to build this in a way where I would get the parry, do my righteous descent, and just one tap them. You know, big crit, maybe get an aftershock, just huge damage. I think the highest I've hit so far is like 3 million with one single usage, which is pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, the gloves are just +2 melee skills, some flat fizz, res to fix my res. I'm literally barely capped on cold. And then a little bit of leech's mana, which is actually quite nice. I didn't have that before, but it does only work on physical attack damage, so some skills don't really work that well with it. Belt is another resistance piece, just big life, big res, and a little bit of armor. Boots, we got 30 movement speed, bunch of armor, 2 armor rolls actually. Armor applies to Ellie, and then we have lightning and chaos res. I think I bought these when they must have been just movement speed, percent armor, and armor applies to Ellie, and then I think I double slammed greater exalts onto them. I think they're like 1 divine to start, and then I finished them off that way, and then desecrate for the lightning and chaos res. So these are actually pretty damn good. Life flask, yeah, that's whatever. Charms, we got poison one. If I get poisoned, I recover a lot of life and mana. Immune to freeze. Very annoying when you charge up your attack. 2.5 seconds total attack time, weapon attack, and then you get frozen or you get stunned. So I have freeze here, and then I have a stunned one here. I literally just bought this. I've never even used it, but it seems pretty good. You get to like have double your armor for 3 seconds, so it'll probably guarantee that you get your thing off. And then I got the lasagna flask just for some passive recovery. 26 mana recovery per second. Okay. Let's hop into the tree real quick. So we are a Titan, of course. We are rocking the extra chest inventory, which is actually probably my favorite thing about this league. Look at all this crap I have in here. If I were to put this in my main inventory, I would have like a Diablo 2 style inventory. That would just not be good. But most importantly, we get the hulking form. So every little passive, small passive like these are increased by 50%. So, you know, it just makes the normal tree 1.5x better. Pretty damn good. Kind of boring at times, but pretty damn good either way. And then we're going into the slam area and Earthbreaker for aftershocks. Kind of like 25% double damage if you think about it that way. I was considering doing this. There's definitely a case for this because you can use Fist of War level 3, which will, instead of needing to recharge Fist of War every 14 seconds, you can just do it every other slam skill. But I opted to go for this armor from Stone Skin. I believe if without this, I would be at about, because I'm at 16k natural armor in town currently, and that would probably bring me to like 12k or something, and that's not really that much armor, to be honest. So yeah, we are warrior start, but we path around here, getting some more armor from the body armor. We have weapon sets for both weapons here. The first set is the damage. So anything I do with damage is on here. The second one is exclusively to hold up parry. That's literally it. But yeah, so the green one is the parry tree, and the red one is just normal attacking, mapping, everything like that. So we have skill speed on here on the attacking, and then of course pretty much everything on the parry side of things is skill duration, because that does impact your duration of the parry debuff as well as the crit weakness debuff. So those are kind of like a double scalar. Of course, pathing to this crit stuff. This is pretty efficient for crit. Pathing down here, getting this one-hand weapon stuff, attack speed, dexterity, all good. Another red tree for aftershock area, a little bit of area on our attacks. Green tree for the parry stuff, more duration. Big crit wheel, all of these are good nodes. And then more attack damage down here. There is also a case for getting this side of the wheel. Even like these two are pretty good because we do apply shock, and shock is pretty good for a damage multiplier. I probably wouldn't take this though because I really don't like the reduced attack speed. It just feels bad. And then in this jewel, we got Radius of Blood Magic, which if you want to come with me over here, this is where the radius is. It's pretty much these nodes. So from Blood Magic, you can take Stormkeeper for increased shock magnitude, a little bit of lightning damage, a little bit of reduced shock effect, 40% melee at close range, 30 armor, and then Proj attacks defend with 120% of armor. Not sure how relevant that line is, but I just wanted the percent armor. And then big note here, 30% of armor applies to Ellie. This is pretty much our entire defensive layer is just armor to Ellie. And then Vengeful Fury, gain 5 rage when you get hit, and every rage gives you 1% armor. So overall, this was a pretty good from nothing, or whatever this thing's called. Yeah, from nothing. And then just doing some traveling, you know, traveling down here. This is a pretty good section as well. We got more armor applies to Ellie down here, and percent armor. This whole wheel's pretty good. You can see the radius of that now. In this socket, we got a nice time lost. We have notable effect, and we have empowered attacks deal percent increased damage, which is relevant because this is empowered if you consume the little fragment thing. So it does give you a little bit more damage. Each one of these is 4%. So I'm taking them anyway, so it's nice to have just like 4%, 4%, 4% on all of these. This wheel is just more rage. It's like this one turns into 9. If you had a 25% notable, I believe this would turn into 10 max rage. But those are like 3 divines each, just for like a really bad one. Pathing up here for the red nodes, just more attack speed. And crit with one-handed weapons. This is really efficient as well. And then here's the surround nodes, which is pretty much all of our damage scaling. We got 116 while surrounded. We got movement speed, 37 here, 37 here, 37 here. Like this section is absurdly strong, especially on Titan, because these are normally 25. I recently got these 2 Herald nodes because I'm stacking a bunch of spirit stuff, and I needed this exactly to fit my spirit requirements. So I'm using Herald of Ash and Thunder. Some more low life or heavy stunned or whatever. Surrounded damage type stuff, pretty good. Red nodes for area and a bit of cooldown. Makes our attacks nice and girthy. This crystallized immunity is currently being used for chill immune. I have 18 int gems socketed in my gear, which I'll go over in a moment. And you might be thinking, you have 18 strength, so how is that possible that you're immune to chill? And it's because the other red gems are in my parry setup. So as long as whatever you have in your main hand has higher gems, like your weapon set, it doesn't matter. Because the way I have it set up, all my weapon set 1 like default attacks have like these crap gems in them. So if I do swap to parry, I can get chilled, but that's not the biggest deal because I'm not going to get hit anyway. So that's a nice little tech to become immune. Otherwise, getting chilled, I pretty much want to uninstall the game instantly. More attack speed over here and some blind. It doesn't really help us because we don't have that much evasion at all, but it could be used. I was using it early on to do like blindside support, and I guess if you wanted to build more into evasion, you could. And here's another big surround wheel. These are unfortunately evasion rating, which leads me to kind of want to build more hybrid, but I landed on this. Big armor over here, more attack damage while surrounded, speed while surrounded, surrounded area, and regen some life. And the last part of the tree is just a green pathing wheel with the parry stuff. We're going to parry debuff magnitude for these 3 and this one, and then some skill effect duration. Okay, let's go over the gems. Like I said, the default attacks, you don't even need to look at these. These are just blue to be blue. So in the Righteous Descent here, we have a Elemental Armaments, we have Close Combat, Rage Forged, Fist of War 2, and Aftershock. I've kind of settled on these after tinkering a lot with it. Obviously, yes, we all know you can go with, Garukans and Rakiatas, and yeah, cool, then you could just win. But I didn't want to spend 400 divines, nor do I have that much money on a support gem. So some other things you could do, which are pretty cool, is, like I said, Fist of War 3 if you wanted to take the other Titan node. So you could always, not always, but every other attack you get this double ancestral boost, and then you could spec more. Like down here, there's some good ancestral boost stuff, which become actually pretty efficient. These are, these are pretty good nodes each click, like 24 damage. Ain't nothing to scoff at, especially with this node too, the area for boosted attacks, and like you can do the empowered, these 3. So like there's definitely a way to do this without Viper Cap, which I was honestly considering, because you do have to go down here and get all this crap, right? And then your helmet slot is taken up, which helmet slot is quite valuable, I might say. But didn't go for that route, just some options. So yeah, I kind of think you can think of this as like 35% double damage that stacks with the 25% double damage from your Ascendancy. So theoretically, if a gem in PoE 1 said like 35% chance to deal double damage. I'd probably use that. So, yeah, outside of the absurd lineage gems, I like this setup. There is one that's like pretty good too, which is Vorana's Siege. How do you spell siege, guys? It's 35 area and 20 more if they're isolated, which I think is 6 meters. Yeah, I think this one is about 20 something, 26 divines currently. So there's an option there. It would make it a lot bigger, and it would do similar damage to Armament 2. Yeah, like I said, we got our Purity of Fire that's free, giving us a bunch of res. We got Parry here. This is exclusively on weapon set 2, so if we hold our shield up, it'll switch, and if we attack, it'll switch back to the Purity of Fire thing. In here, we got Steadfast for more stun threshold and ailment threshold, since parry is a channeling skill. Prolonged duration, so we have a little bit more of parry duration. If I go to my actual set, you can see, I don't know, 4.9 seconds. So I think default is 2. Okay, well, tooltip is currently bugged, so that's fine. But anyways, the parry lasts quite a long time. Definitely lasts long enough to get at least one attack off. Usually when I parry a boss, they're just dead because of the lucky damage, or lucky crits, and the 92% more damage taken. Oh yeah, here we go. Buff magnitudes. More attack damage, 92%. Which is kind of insane if you think about it. Like, imagine you have a gem that just has 92% more attack damage. Pretty much what parry is. Anyways, one of our main skills we use during mapping is Rapid Assault. This is a pretty cool skill. Big stabs. Looks a lot better in maps when I have my buffs up, but does a lot of fast smacks, as the name implies. The Final Strike is a big smack that puts a spearhead in here, and then you can detonate it for big damage with a detonator skill. In this case, I'm using Thunderous Leap, so just boop, like that. That's like the rotation I was using before I got level 90 to actually put the spear on. In here, for the links, we just got more attack speed with rapid attacks, Ancestral Call, Conk Area, Close Combat, and Defy. I don't really need Defy anymore because of my Mana Leech. I was using this before I had Mana Leech because this would cost, I don't know how much, 100 mana each click, and you attack pretty quickly, so I was running out of mana. And then Defy just makes it free if you're surrounded, which I always am. So I might just switch that for something else. Yeah. Spearfield is another main mapping skill. It's a pretty classic spear skill. In here we got rapid attacks, life leech 3, rage. This is our main rage generator for attacking. We get like 9 rage when we're hit though, so it's pretty good. Area and blazing critical, which is actually up quite a lot because this skill hits the whole screen pretty much. So one of those is bound to crit, and then we're going to get a nice 15 is extra fire damage boost. Thunderous Leap is not the craziest amount of damage, but it's kind of fun. So we got Holy Descent on here for Caught Ground when we land. Aftershock, when you land, they go like up and, you know, split out like that. Big area and Ancestral Boost with Fist of War. If I were to do another link, I'd probably just put in something like Life Leech or something, so I could just use this exclusively to map with. It'd be pretty fun. This is my main way of traveling too, so it's pretty cool. Disengage is entirely for movement, so we have cooldown, Rapid 3, and this is just to get another int gem in there somewhere. This thing is not really relevant for damage, but it is pretty snappy, so we can just, like, you know, if you're in a sticky situation, can't roll out, you can usually disengage out pretty smooth. Alright, for the auras, we got Herald of Ash with Area of Effect, helps our clear. We got Trinity, which gives you a bunch more damage per 30 affinity. And I believe we probably get... We should be at maximum cold, or maximum fire, and lightning. Probably permanently, since we have the split between the big lightning on the weapon and the big percent gain as fire from the offhand. So, absolutely crazy buff, in my humble professional opinion. And we got +1 lightning. You could use any of the +1s because it's tagged with everything. But then we have vitality in here for regen and 2% life on kill. Pretty good. Very nice sustain. I recently put these in. I was using Berserk earlier, but this thing was just draining my life too fast, and I literally died to this multiple times. So I took it out in exchange for more regen. Speaking of regen, Time of Need. This thing is quite juicy. So it gives you a bunch of life and removes curses and ailments every 4.82 seconds currently. It does scale with cooldown. So I just got it linked with the normal cooldown support, and then there's a little bit of cooldown on the tree. Not too much, but yeah, my weapons at 1 goes to about 4.8 seconds. So you can kind of think of this as, you heal 100-ish life per second, roughly, and you remove curses every 5 seconds from you. So, quite juicy indeed. And then last thing, we just got Herald of Thunder, very classic. Magnified Area, which I don't believe does anything. Long Shot, Ellie Armament, and Ellie Focus. So that, alright, and that's the build. I also forgot to show another gem. I just got a Heart of the Well here for percent as extra lightning, cooldown, rage on melee hit, rage when hit. This thing was like 2 divines, but currently it is 5-ish, so it actually didn't go up as much as I thought. But yeah, I'll show you guys a quick map here. I've just been doing T15s, been slamming them like this. I don't even care, I don't really read them. If they say like Ellie Pen, I usually don't run them because I die. But for these sort of things, I don't really think most mods are dangerous. Like the reduced regen doesn't matter, I don't think, because of Time of Need. It just like recovers that much life, so I think it gets around that. And I might be wrong on that, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's not like a super omega like turbo blaster, I'm not gonna clear this map in like 35 seconds and fully loot it. It's more about just kind of relaxed. I'm chill. Occasionally you'll do one of those. You put your spear fields down, you'll do some rapid stabs. It's just a humble build, It's really good for rituals, because you can kind of just do your righteous descent and hit the entire ritual over and over again, and it just kind of beats it. So I've been liking it for ritual. Been liking it for Abyss for the same reason. You can get a big pack and just blow them up. Here we go. Got some ritual action for you. Yeah, usually everything does die just to the what's it called? Thunderous Leap. Except for like rares, they usually don't die instantly, but then you can just like hit him with some rapid assaults real quick, and yeah, like everything in the build does decent damage. It's not like centralized. So here we go. We got a Rogue Exile. I'm gonna parry him, and I'm gonna rapid assault him. You see that damage? That was 1 click of rapid assault. Like just because he was parried. It's absolutely absurd how much damage parry adds to this build. My filter, please ignore it. What do we got here? Uhtred Saga. Don't know if I want that, but I do want... Oh, what's this? Streamer luck, perfect Regal Orb. Fucking hell, man. Never lucky. Yeah, at least I got a skill gem out of that one. You know, you can't always be winners. I think earlier I got a perfect, triple perfect Chaos Orb from that, so can't really complain too much. But yeah, it's also good for this mechanic, so you can just wait until everything spawns, stand by one of your little guys, and then pop it. Although this mechanic is quite annoying because everything spawns so far away, you have to kind of wait for it to come and get to you. Risen Rattler. A little bit of lag there. Lagging. What you can also do... Why am I lagging so bad, actually? Maybe it's just Verisium crap. Yeah, it does feel pretty resilient. Like, I don't even know what these are. I'm gonna try to tank one of those. Never mind. I don't know what the hell these are, but they do no damage to me. It looks like they're poison, because I was getting the caustic ground. So maybe that poison applies to armor or whatever. Is pretty good. This can also be used to... I'm stuck on the wall. Sometimes you get stuck on the wall like this, which kind of sucks, but you can disengage out most of the time, or relog. This is taking a very long time. I do humbly apologize. Oh, I'm getting like bad lag, yeah. Oh, see, that was a case where I missed my I missed my little remnant by like a millimeter, and then it goes on cooldown. That is like the downside of this build, is just like sometimes you literally just miss, and it like, it just feels so bad because not only do you do no damage with it, but you go on cooldown forever. That guy's tanky. Gotta love temporal bubble. Finally, my Regal Orbs have arrived in the mail. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, I'm just gonna finish this map and I'll loot it when I'm done because I don't want to bore you guys with the, yeah, those actually do no damage. Duck. Fine, we'll cut that from the footage. Nobody knows that I got stuck in the wall. Dude, I hate these guys that are immune until you kill their minions. They freaking spawn across the entire planet. Boom! Yeah, Thunder Asleep is quite nice too. Dude, what's with these poison remnants? I've never seen these before. Okay, anyways, that was a nice little detour. Here's an essence boss. Charge it up. Boom! Okay, that didn't count. That didn't count. Get the parry. Got the parry. Roll back. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, did not get the aftershock there, or they definitely would have died. Yeah, honestly, as much fun as the Righteous Descent is, majority of the damage is just Spear Field or Rapid Assault, just because the nature of, you know, the nature of the skill. But when it hits, it hits. Like, don't tell me that's not satisfying. Heavy belt. Because you'd be lying. Is that good? Spirit, ES? Probably not. Let me go find this boss here. See if I can give him a nice one tap. Wow, that guy's hunted by every spirit in the game. Where's this guy? Down here. Look at this guy. I'm gonna parry him. Parried. Oh, I'm dying. Got him. Did not know what the heck was going on there. Not gonna lie, I don't know where the boss is. Oh, here it is. Oh, this guy? Oh, he might kill me. Let me defer my Sinstral annulment real quick. Oh yeah. Let me just wait till he spawns and I'll show you the stats while I'm actually buffed. So while I'm near an enemy, I got huge 22k armor, 33k applies to Ellie. Quite juicy. And then a bunch of regen, yeah. So I'm going to parry him. Parried. And slam. Unfortunately, I got damage gated because it's a mechanic thing, but yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Even like Rapid Assault does quite good stuff. Getting ready to parry. I don't know what that is. Use the Ballista. And one more. Okay, that boss kind of sucks because he doesn't like... Yeah. But yeah, you get the idea. Alright. I have not actually fought this guy since the quest version. And I didn't really know what was going on, so... We're going to give this a go. Yet again.
You have done well, servant. With this, the Master shall know unending power.
Your kind shall never ordain the first edict. And now, you
Dude, look, he has my spear. Parry him. Missed.
The first divine must never return.
Oh, look at that.
You disgrace her sanctity.
Holy shit.
The enemy returns.
That was just rapid assault damage. That was crazy. Okay, so this part, I have no fucking idea what's going on.
This world must
Maybe he'll just die to spear too.
purged. I am the last bastion of hope. Feel its embrace.
Oh!
Salvation! Salvation was never offered and never given. I will not fail them. Observe the divine.
Oh my god, look at that damage.
Our pain was
Another one.
foretold.
Holy shit. Help! Help! Oh, I killed him. Holy crap. Give me the spear.
The mother's soul. Our civilization
Anyway,
died.
thanks for watching. And stay tuned for more epic builds. Never lucky.